This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Missy Kohler. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. News 25 is also brought to you by Silver State Health, Pahrumps exclusive pediatric care clinic. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Thanks for tuning in to KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio's News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler, and today is Wednesday, April 7th.
Well, the Nye County Sheriff's Office is looking for the suspect in an early morning crash here in Pahrump. Authorities say that Eric Daly drove his vehicle into a marked patrol car, then fled the scene. Captain David Barukowitz spoke with News 25 late this afternoon.
So the incident this morning occurred when Deputy Gideon attempted to stop Mr. Daly. He was in a parking lot at CVS, and it was reported that he was unconscious. As Deputy Gideon arrived, he observed and recognized him as somebody that we had warrants for. He immediately tried to apprehend him and make the arrest, and Deputy Gideon was dragged by the vehicle as he smashed into our patrol vehicles to escape the arrest.
Daly damaged the patrol car and another vehicle in the parking lot while fleeing the scene. Later Wednesday afternoon, deputies got a tip as to where they might find Daly, which led to a pursuit on Pahrump South Side, ending at the corner of Gamebird Road and Pahrump Valley Boulevard.
We obtained information that he was in this black Volkswagen. Our officers engaged him at Dandelion on 160. The vehicle then led our officers on a pursuit. They lost him in this general area, and he was ultimately located in this parking lot. The individual that we're out with reports that he had dropped the subject off somewhere else on Blag, an unknown area exactly. So we don't think we're quite getting 100% cooperation, but we're still on the hunt for Mr. Eric Daly, and we're going to continue looking for him. It's our understanding that he is on foot currently. We do have a possible location of that vehicle, and we have deputies en route to try to seize it.
The driver of the car deputies stopped was arrested and taken to the Juvenile Detention Center. Daly is still on the run. Anyone who knows where he might be is asked to call the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000. Barukowitz says Deputy Gideon is resting at home and doing okay, though he will be out of work for a little while.
It's getting easier to get a COVID-19 vaccine if you want one. FEMA mobile vaccination units will be in Pahrump for the next 3 days, offering the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine for those aged 18 and older. News 25 spoke with Chief Scott Lewis, Director of Emergency Management, about the vaccination pods that will be offered through FEMA this week.
Emergency management's primary focus right now is vaccinations. So we want to vaccinate as many people as possible who desire the vaccines. As we've talked about in the past, there's multiple products available. And in this particular case, the MVUs, which are mobile vaccination units, are being offered through the state, but they're federal resources. They're self-contained structures that are expandable, and then they come fully staffed. So we have placed one at the Bob Road Community Center parking lot near the marquee, and that's going to be available on the 8th, which is tomorrow, from 11 a.m. to 7 to 7 on Friday, and then 7 to approximately 2 to 3 p.m. on Saturday, before they move to other areas of the county, including Beatty, Tonopah, and Round Mountain. The purpose of the MVUs is to be able, on a first-come, first-served basis, without reservations or appointments, to be able to come in and receive one specific product, which is the J&J, Johnson & Johnson, or Janssen. It's called many different things. That is a one-dose vaccine that's going to be available to us, and the pods are prepared to vaccinate as many as 500 people per day. Well, emergency management uses both Janssen and Moderna, and we only receive certain amounts or allocations of the Johnson & Johnson. So as that comes in, we attempt to hit target groups, our homeless populations, special needs, and also homebound seniors. That way we don't have to go back and try to revaccinate them or try to locate them, all those different resource requirements. But we do also offer the Moderna for those that prefer that type of product, and also the 2-dose platform. So emergency management is continuing both of those. We are starting to wean away from the appointment process. We've opened up to 16 or 18 and above as well, in all lanes and all tiers. And more often than not now, you don't need an appointment. You come up when we're hosting one of our pods. And we inform the citizens through the media, the NyeCounty.net, and also at BOCC meetings and other platforms of when those pods are.
Well, the driver of a pickup truck that investigators say caused a fatal crash on U.S. Highway 95 that killed 3 people from Idaho is now under arrest and facing a list of felony charges, including DUI.
The crash happened Saturday, March 27th on US 95 north of Scotty's Junction. Nevada Highway Patrol says 32-year-old Tyler Kennedy was driving a Ford F-150 when he crossed the center line and struck a Toyota Highlander head-on. 3 people inside the SUV, including a man, woman, and child, died as a result of the crash. 2 other children were seriously hurt. Now, NHP says Kennedy has been arrested and booked into the Nye County Detention Center on the following charges: 3 counts of DUI resulting in death, 2 counts of DUI resulting in substantial bodily harm, 5 counts of reckless driving resulting in death or substantial bodily harm, and 1 count of possession of a controlled substance. He also faces less serious charges, including possession of drug paraphernalia, failure to drive on the right side of the road, driving with a canceled driver's license, and no seatbelt. Just last Friday, the Nye County Sheriff's Office issued a statement saying deputies had contact with Kennedy when they responded to a dispute at the Amargosa Valley RV Park. That was just prior to the accident. The Sheriff's Office says it's conducting an internal investigation to ensure that all policies and procedures were followed during that call for service.
And we'll have more News 25 coming right up.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest-reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Thanks for staying with us. The IMF is predicting a better global economic recovery. BP sees indications it may rebound later this year, and online spending during the pandemic nears $1 trillion.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, better days are ahead. The International Monetary Fund is now projecting the world economy will grow by 6% this year. That's up from that 5.5% that was forecast back in January. Stimulus money in the U.S. and the rollout of COVID-19 vaccines is helping to lift the global GDP outlook. But the IMF is warning there could be daunting challenges of getting the shots to people at an equal rate around the world. Business is turning around for BP. Higher crude prices are improving the possibility that the oil giant will rebound later this year. BP may even begin to buy back shares. Shoppers are spending an astounding amount of money online during the pandemic. According to the MasterCard Economic Institute, $900 billion was spent on online retailers.
Thanks, Angela. Well, at yesterday's Board of County Commissioners meeting, the commissioners voted 5-0 to open the county and lift the mask mandate. But not so fast. Don't toss that mask just yet.
The state of Nevada already has a goal of May 1st to transition decision-making authority on mitigation of business inactivities to local authorities. The agenda item for yesterday's meeting, proposed by Commissioner Blundo, asked to sidestep the state's plan and open sooner. The action requested 100% occupancy and a recommendation to not mandate mask wearing in Nye County. What does this really mean for you? You'll still need that mask. While this vote gives the local businesses discretion on mask wearing in their place of business, it does not override the state mandate of masks. This means that you can be asked to wear a mask in any Nye County business, and not doing so is grounds for removal from that business, trespass from that business, even trespass arrest for noncompliance. Nye County Sheriff's Office has said that they will not seek to enforce mask wearing, but they will respond to a business when called for violators of the mandate. OSHA can still fine a business in Nye County for not requiring masks of employees and customers. Not all business owners are happy with being put in that position of enforcing the state mandate. Local business owner Josh Westerman says that this puts his business at risk because he has to enforce the mandate himself, possibly argue with a customer over wearing a mask, or risk an OSHA fine, which would be a detriment to his business. County Manager Tim Sutton does not have confidence that the commissioners are in a legal position to do away with the mask mandate.
There was a comment made about that I potentially have the ability to lift the mask mandate. If that's the case, please let me know that in writing. I would love to see that. I don't believe I have that authority. But more importantly, I don't believe you all have the authority, and that's what's been difficult about this whole conversation. A lot of people have opined that you have this authority and this ability. I have not heard anybody point to any law or anything. I mean, this Constitution's been cited a lot, but there's been nothing that says, hey, here's the commissioners have the authority to supersede the governor, whether we like it or not. And I guess that's the struggle I have with this particular item, because it's giving the perception and putting you all in a difficult position of having to say we can't do this without anybody saying, hey, you do have the right to do this. Commissioner Blundo has said, yes, I think we have the right to do this, in my opinion, and that's all it is an opinion, not supported by the district attorney, who is really the office who should provide that opinion.
Commissioner Frank Carboni fears that Nye County will soon be contacted by the state attorney general that will quash the passage of this action. So in short, it was a good try to speed up the process of opening the county sooner and doing away with the mask mandate. But things haven't really changed at all. If you're a business, masks are required to avoid OSHA fines and remain open. Individuals will still be asked to wear masks in businesses or risk those consequences. Local authorities must wait until May 1st for decision-making authority to enact any changes to the state's mitigation plan.
We got more News 25 coming right up. Stick around.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by Canyon Ridge Periodontics. Give them a call at 702-966-0302.
Welcome back. Registration is now open for a desert race coming to Tonopah later next month.
You can now register for the 2021 Rocky Mountain ATV MC World Hare and Hound Championship presented by GPR. The race is May 21st through the 23rd in Tonopah. The event is the revitalization of the original World Hare and Hound Championship that launched Best in the Desert as a racing series 37 years ago. 3 years in the planning, the race will crown both a men's and women's World Hare and Hound champion as well as world champions in the youth classes. 3-time AMA National Hare and Hound champion Russell Pearson will serve as the hare for the event. Pearson will be given a few minutes head start with a bounty on his head of $1,000 should anyone catch him before pit 1 and $500 if anyone catches him before pit 2, which is 52 miles into the event. The added incentive comes on top of a guaranteed purse of $6,000 for the top pro finishers in both men's and women's classes. Best in the Desert's Brian Folks says the race itself will be amazing with some incredible terrain. There will be a host of other activities connected to the event, including an event expo and a post-race awards party at the Tonopah Station Saturday night, and races for younger riders too. For more information or to register, visit Best in the Desert online at bitd.com.
So exciting things are coming back. Well, baseball season is underway and many fans are eager to be back in the stands. Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Joseph Cabaza says attending a game in person should be relatively low risk as long as you follow COVID-19 precautions.
The games are in large, mostly outdoor venues, and that drastically decreases risk of transmission of any respiratory virus across the board.
Dr. Cabaza recommends checking ballpark restrictions before heading to a game, as they may change depending on local government guidelines. Most parks will have limited capacity this season, allowing fans to spread out and properly social distance. Some stadiums may require proof of vaccination or negative COVID-19 test. Dr. Cabaza recommends wearing a mask at the game. He reminds us masks are important to decrease transmission risk, especially in situations where there's cheering, which generates more respiratory droplets. He adds masks should be worn in the concourse and not removed unless you're eating or drinking at your seat.
As long as your mask is on while you're at the concourse and there is spacing between people in line, your risk of transmission will be quite low.
Dr. Cabaza says this year is probably not the best time to end up under a pile of fans scrambling for a home run ball. He recommends staying in your seat away from people you don't know as much as possible.
For today's Save a Pet, we introduce you to Princess and Estrella. The two dogs were found together as strays and are now available for adoption from Desert Haven Animal Society. Darby O'Donnell has their story.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Princess and Estrella. So they are both a little over a year old. They came in together as a stray. They would prefer if they were adopted together as well. They get along really, really well, but these are two extremely high energy dogs. Like I said, they are only a little over a year old, so they're still a little bit out in a puppy stage because they are shepherd mixes. They need an extremely strong sense of leadership. They obviously do well with positive reinforcement. They are very, very crazy, and a lot of correction and me going and telling them when they are doing correct manners, they really reacted to. But they will most definitely need a very minimum of 15 minutes in this yard so that they can calm down, so they can get into a calm mindset, so that you can interact with them properly. So Estrella and Princess are litter mates. They do have very big similarities in the way that they look. Princess is a little bit smaller. She is mainly all beige with a white chest. And then Estrella has more of that classic shepherd look where she's mainly all black with beige and white detailing on her ears and on her neck and everything like that. When you do come and visit these two, they will need to spend a minimum of 15 minutes in their yard. So they do have a little enclosed area here at Desert Haven that they can run around, go to the bathroom, meet and greet other dogs. But they are such a high energy, like these two together are very high energy, so they need to run around for about 15 minutes, play, and get all their energy, so you can actually start seeing their very cute little personalities. If you want to come and meet these two sisters here at Desert Haven Animal Society, please give them a call ahead of time to make an appointment. 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. And just so you know, right now, every single animal here at Desert Haven Animal Society is 50% off adoption fees.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Taking a look outside as we head into our break. We'll be back in a moment.
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, and here's your report on a Wednesday. You made it hump day. All right, here we are. Look at it. It's wonderful. It is wonderful. It's a beautiful day all up and down the state. Out in Fernley and Fallon, low 70s. Carson City, as much as 66 degrees. Work on that. A little chilly out there. Tonopah and Goldfield got you beat by a bunch, 72 degrees as we head on down the road. Beatty, you're at 81. Amargosa, 84. Las Vegas, all the way up to 86. Oh, man. Bet that feels nice poolside. Death Valley, a little too much. 95 degrees was their high today. 66 for low tonight. And here in the paradise of Pahrump, a glorious day. Man, it was a great day. 80 degree temperature is what we're looking at right this second. Got as high as 82. And those southwesterly winds at 11 miles per hour kept a nice bit of breeze. I like that. A little cool. Humidity this morning at 10%. It'll increase as we head towards morning. Sun rose this morning at 6:21. Setting this evening at 7:11. And suddenly I just want a Slurpee. Low tonight, 54 degrees. Southeasterly winds to 10 miles per hour. Humidity kicking up just a little bit as we head towards morning. And what will that set up for tomorrow? Well, clear skies, but look at those winds, 18 miles per hour, going to be a bit blustery tomorrow. But those temperatures holding up in the low and mid 80s throughout the week until we get to Wednesday. It'll cool off just a little bit. Lows at night, mid 50s, as high as 57 degrees, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be a glorious weekend. Clear skies, moderate winds, and 84, 86 degree temperatures. I'm liking it. All right, we'll check you on the weather report tomorrow, and back to the desk tonight with Missy Indiana.
Thanks, John. Like that forecast. Nevada Gold Mines wants to give Nevada students a chance at a better education. To do that, the company is donating more than $300,000 to a nonprofit organization that works with students at increased risk of dropping out.
Nevada Gold Mines, a joint venture between Barrick and Newmont Corporation, is donating $320,000 to communities in schools of Nevada. That investment will help CIS expand support for at-risk students in 8 of CIS's middle and high schools in Clark, Elko, and Humboldt counties, schools with nearly 11,000 students. In total, CIS serves more than 75,000 students across Nevada. Since 2009, Barrick, now Nevada Gold Mines, has demonstrated its commitment to bettering Nevada's education system and, more importantly, the lives of the state's students most at risk of dropping out. Nevada Gold Mines has donated more than $3 million to communities in schools of Nevada. CIS places full-time site coordinators in schools across 4 districts statewide. The overwhelming majority of those students come from low-income families, are identified as being highly vulnerable to dropping out, and are disproportionately impacted by conditions such as hunger, homelessness, emotional trauma, and lack of access to basic health care.
All right. Thanks to Brad Francis for that report and for everything he did today, because we know we had a lot of news, and I know you guys were working your behind off. That's going to do it for this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching and have a nice night.
Good night.